makes you sound or not sound like a robot. It's a thing. But so are these tats, and so is this background, and all of these things that are going on back here. There's a pool and all this stuff. So I'm pretty real. Definitely not AI. Today's conversation, let's build, actually, yeah, let's build a tool where um, for 100 people, I'll give you as many API keys as I can generate. I'll give you one for every person. It gives you access to the latest version of ChatGPT or whatever it is. But doing so, I'm in a spreadsheet. And then that way, for folks, you guys can experiment, you can learn. I won't be able to see what you're doing, I won't be able to access any of that. But let's create something. Let's do, I think the word is, it's been out there lately by all of these folks. I'm being snarky. Yes, masterclass on just using what we have to make the most out of it. And we're going to use a ChatGPT. So you're going to watch this and we're going to build it together. I've never done this before. We're going to start from scratch. And we're going to use Google Sheets. We're going to use app scripts, and we're going to use GPT to help us. And we're going to try it in one shot. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But a few things I have open to get us prepared. And for you as well, too, that you're going to need. So things you're going to need: Google Sheets, Google App Scripts. It's free. It's in the Sheets. It's under extensions. We'll get to that part. But just open up a Google Sheet. It can be untitled. You can title it. You can do whatever you need to do. And I got this funky image. So let me move this funky image. I'm going to move it up to the right. Yeah. Loom, do something about that. But I love your tool. Then open up ChatGPT if you have it. If you don't have it, then just follow along and listen, watch, and then at the end, you'll get access to ChatGPT. And then the second part is, if you have ChatGPT, you're going to have to open up a different screen. So you're going to have to go to the Open AI part of this, right? And the openai.com, you're going to have to go to your dashboard. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a secret key. This key is going to give us access to do the things we're going to do in this baby right here. Basically, I know a lot of y'all are out there using GPT and you're running out of prompts, and you have limits for chats and you want to use it, but you might not have the ability to do for multiple reasons, right? So within reason, I'm going to open it up, and this key I'm going to generate on this for all of y'all that think you're just going to take advantage of the situation, because some of y'all are super smart and some of y'all are just, fantastic individuals that want to take advantage of things, ruin it for others. I'm just going to say that out loud. I'm going to delete that key. And so what I'm going to ask is that if you want to use this tool and you want me to generate a key for you, reach out to me, DM, supply you with that key. The reason for it is so that if it becomes excessive, I can just turn it off, because I don't want to ruin it for the other hundreds of folks that might be able to benefit from this. Be creative, push the limits in advertising, math, work, science, whatever you want to use these tools for, right? And there was a rumor out there that you couldn't actually manage Google Ads through GPT. That's false. You absolutely positively can. There are just steps that you need to be able to do that. And that's not going to happen today, but you just need API access to do that. That is a fairly simple and straightforward process where you can do that. So anyways, on to it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to talk to GPT, and we're going to say, hey, what is up, dude? We want to build something in Google Sheets. Are you up for it? So let's talk to him. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and on the side, I got Bebe's Kids. So if I'm distracted and pause for a moment while I'm doing this, it's because Bebe Kids is on, and it's probably one of the funniest cartoons that was ever made, in my humble opinion. So here we go. Hey, my friend. How are you doing today? And let's see what we got. And then we're going to use O3. So it might be a little slow and the whole world is out there. We're doing great. So we're in the we're mode. Anything or Mikey you want to dig into together? Yeah. I did a PR today where I pushed a 225 twice over my head and I'm 15 pounds heavier. And I lost the belt size. What do you think? What do you think it's gonna say? I know this is not exactly what you guys are expecting. It's just a little humor. It's me. I'm very independent in all of the things. See, look at that, man. What's been the secret sauce lately? No, living life. Fortunate. Yep. Okay. So I do have a hard question. Are you ready to get to it? Okay, cool. Well, lots of fun advertising. Don't have the ability to use O3 or um, earlier versions of GPT. So I'd like to gift this to them and build a sheet that they can use as a chat box, hit run, and it outputs like you and me are having a conversation. Misspelled, by the way. No, not conversion. Sorry, conversation right now. Is that possible? And see, I'm not telling you what to do. Like, don't tell GPT what to do. Don't tell Claude or Gemini. Don't tell it what to do. You're gonna run into like 100 roadblocks. Let's let it think, and let's see what it comes up with. Because again, this is something that's new. I've not done it, and it just popped in my brain because I was watching all these master classes and all of these folks out here do all this stuff, and I'm like, why don't we just give it to the world? Let's see. Looks like it's figuring it out for us. What would be super amazing is if it did it in like one swoop for us. Oh, wow. It just laid out the big picture plan for us. Are you guys ready? Are you absolutely ready to get this and rock this out? Yo, that's dope. So, share a template sheet with 2 tabs: config, holds the API key, and chat, the conversion log. Paste a Google app script that grabs the key, builds a chat history array from prior rows, writes to assistant, replay it back to the sheet. Add a custom function or an on it trigger so each message auto fires. It says it's going to take us about 15 minutes. Yo, this is crazy. Okay, let's make some modifications though. I mean, let's oversimplify this baby because I don't want a whole bunch of lines. I just want like 2 like blocks. Okay. So let's refine that a little bit because it sounds good and it looks like, hey, just do this and auto populate and auto do this. Nah. Let's make our own version of GPT. What do you think? Oh, I like that. Okay. Let's think about this. All of what you said sounds great and good. But, and now let's outline what we want. I'd like to have a run trigger. I'd like to have a single input box, to have a single output box, that that also I can continue the conversation. I can on run each time ensure the conversation continues. Am I missing anything else that best represents you? Let's see. So it's thinking. Again, rather than just running with it, like the habit for all of us is to just like run and jump, like, yeah, I got it. But what I'm doing is I'm qualifying it, right? Here's the streamlined design. That's it, y'all. Do you see? Like, I'm more qualification. And to be fair, like, I've been at this since April 2022. And it goes back to Anakam asking me to solve something with JXT Group. And if you see this, what's up, dude? Tell everybody I said I'll be up. But I was just like, wow, okay. I don't need to be like a super wizard at coding anymore. And I was all right. Right. I could figure out like a script in Google Ads. But now, like, I can look at it and be like, oh, something ain't right. What is this line? I understand how to grab the code and all that. I'm not going to do that today. I think some people are like, this is a vibe code. But also, are you asking the right questions and are you setting boundaries? Because if you don't set boundaries, every single time it's going to start over and it's going to refresh. That's the catch, y'all. That's a little like insider $1 million tip. I think you're going to get that for $999. Today is free. I made another funny master splinter. It's because I'm old. See the gray hair? Tangent. So back to it, what we have here is we have one input box, one output box, and one run trigger while still letting the back and forth flow like our chat here. So what we're going to do, and we can start this process now. It says sheet layout, front tab, chat. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make this CHAT. Boom. So if you look at the Google Sheet, we have a Google Sheet. It's still untitled. That title of the sheet means absolutely nothing to us, just for memory. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say demo creating GPT for amigos. Yep. Okay. So that's done. And then it says B1, a single prompt. So B1, that seems rough. So it's going to be my prompt cell. So what I'm going to do is B1 is going to be it. But what I'm going to do, so it's a bigger prompt, and just for the sake of all of this stuff, I'm going to make it a bigger thing for like context and all those things. What do you think? I like that idea. And then how do you format it? We have to do that. And it looks like cells. Where is it at? Oh my gosh, I forgot how to use Google Sheets. I'm just playing. We're going to come in and we're going to merge. Okay, now for all you sheet experts, and you're like, well, he doesn't even know how to do that. Look, if you got the shortcuts down, you go for it. Okay. James, Jonathan, Joe, Mary, who cares? Like, listen, do what you need to do and do it for you and do it the best way. And then also, let's format this because I like formatting. And some people are like, well, don't you know how to automatically format? No, I don't know how to automatically format with 6 keys on a Mac. I don't know how to do it, but I do know what this box is. It creates borders. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a border. I couldn't help myself. For all the people that know everything and are super critical, I'm going to be critical of myself. I don't know how. I just don't. I have no interest in learning how to like shortcut a key. What I do have interest in though is being innovative and making it work. And we're about to make this work. And then it says in C1, assistant reply. So we're definitely not going to do that. So we're going to just make this into our thing because it's kind of giving us the jive already. And so I'm going to merge this. But what I'm going to do next to this is I'm going to say input. Oh, wrong keyboard. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell it what I did because I'm seeing already like what it is. So then I'm going to make like a big ass box. So let's make a big ass box because it's got to be the output. Now I know you're like, well, John, I like reading from the bottom up. No. in this example, we're going to do this. And then you can do whatever you want. The idea is to show you what we're doing and how we do it the John way, not your way. Your way is take this idea and make it your own. And I'm giving you those tools, okay, to do that. And then you can like create to your like heart's content. So we're just going to do all of this. We're going to article line, and we're going to say reply. The key here, though, for this, to those who are watching and to those that are interested, hide. Yeah, let's just do that real quick. All those that are interested, the key here really is that you make this your own. So I know you're watching this, you're seeing this, and when we get to the coding, you're going to have to do this on your own. Okay. And so what I'm going to do now, because this is going to be critical. I'm going to try to keep this all in the same screen. Okay, you guys. Again, I've not done this before. This is going to be our run area. Okay. And I know you're like, John, you've done this. No, the heck I have not. And what inspired me was this dude reached out via text, and he's based out of Florida. And he was like, look, dude, you got to do this because I'm loving this stuff. And I remember when you used to do this stuff, and we really need more of it. And so I'm like, okay, dude, give it a shot. And that dude's name is Ian. So yeah. And then it says it's like a drawing shape. So I don't have that type of skill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this control copy thing, and I'm going to see if we can like paste this in there. Yeah. Who said you couldn't do like a control copy paste? We just did it. I'm going to center that. We got like, now we have this crazy thing going on. I don't like that it's at the top. I had that like just bugs. I mean, because of that, this isn't, I don't like the scroll thing. That bothers me as well too. But let's make that 90%. And let's add this. Now I'm getting in formatting, and that's just because like some things bother me and other things don't, and that's just the thing that bothers me. So we got C35D36 is my box, and we need to tell this thing that because it's going to make all of these adjustments based off of what we just did, right? And you're like, what the heck is C33536? So I just created this merged group of cells. And that's just this little box right here. So it has a name. I'm going to name it, for the sake of this, I'm going to name it run. I'm going to name this group of cells instant reply, assistant reply. Ooh, it didn't work. Run. Yeah, for this group of cells. I'm going to name it reply. And then I'm going to name this. Oh, I know why this is reply. I can't have separate space. It's got to be connected. And then I'm going to name this box input. Okay. And because we're like in a working session, I'm just going to give you guys a key, right? So our key is, and again, you're going to want to rename this and do this yourself, but we got input, we got reply, and we have run, right? So we have that. And for the sake of this conversation, we have these things. You're never going to have to use these, but if you just use this sheet, make a copy, and I give you a thing. But if you want to take this and you want to do this yourself, you are going to need that. And again, just for consistency, because I have like ADD on some things, how I like them. Again, my preference on things. I'm not saying you need to, but for how I like things, I'm just going to do that. And with that said, I'm going to move the borders because as you notice, these three things don't have it, and then run has it. Okay. So now I did all of this. Hi, I know we just did all of that. Hi, I want to inform you changes to the sheet. I have name boxes that are input, reply, run. Let me make sure that they're apply. I think they are case, a title case. So, yep. there are. So we're going to come back in here. We're going to delete that. Input reply instead of B1. It's a box. Input. I'm be clear, right? Instead of a C1, I have is reply. Instead of E1, it is run. Does that make sense in our steps? So it's again, I'm working with it. I'm not just asking it to do something, and I made some changes. And to be fair, that it kind of makes some of this complicated, but we want to get this right. So before I even get into the code, and I know like what it's doing and how it's doing it, and it looks like we got it right. So it looks like it's got our active spreadsheet, which is chat. It's got our prompt, which is input. It has our reply, which is the range. And then it looks like it has return and run and all of those things. And it looks like we're waiting on the open API key. So it looks like we're doing really good. And you're like, well, where the hell did you see that? So if I look in this line of code and I look at lines 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the code, right, I can see what we need. And this is JavaScript, right? So again, we got this thing up here. So we redid this first part. We got our prompt cell, our reply cell, and we have run. It was pretty dope. Everything else, API key, message history, uses containers, live behind the scenes. So end users only have to see B1 and C1. However, we're just a little different. Okay. So this is going to run. Boom, a diggity. So how the flow works, user types in input. So where B1 was that, it is now input. Clicks run, which is what is the button run. And then the script pulls the conversation, calls, whoa, GPT 4.0. I like 4.0 to be truthful. 03 is pretty dope, but I got bugs when I was running data. So 4.0 is going to work. It's going to be really great. And you're going to be uncapped in being able to use this, which is input is cleared, but a C1 will always maintain, right? Nice to have touches. So it does look like I did a usage counter. So add a usage tab so you can watch costs. I don't need to do that because I have all that on the back end. It says auto resize output if replies get too long. IO key mode if you prefer users to paste their own key, store in cell A of the config sheet instead of a property. That's actually interesting. That is actually interesting. You know what? Bring your own beer. Let's bring your own key. Let's do that. And I really like that. I like that a whole lot. So we're gonna add something else. We're gonna do read y o key. We're gonna do that. Yeah, I think so. So we're gonna do that. And it is suggesting that we do that in cell A1 of the config sheet. Again, I want everything in chat. I don't want like 600 sheets. And then keep a drop down in D1, friendly, formal, add ops guru that you prepend to each prompt for consistent voice. Actually, I like that too. I like all of that. I like those things. Let's add some personality. Nah, we don't need any personality. I thought about it. Let's keep it super stupid simple. So yeah, we're gonna append the key, but the BYO key is gonna be down here at the bottom. So we are gonna do BYO key, which is your API key, and that'll run here in this box. So we're just gonna hit the bold, and then we're gonna merge these cells. And again, I know this is annoying and I apologize. But we're just kind of creating. Okay. And we're going to name this IO key. There we go. Boom. And so our consistency, we're just going to hit them with the good old is old. And actually, because this is kind of super important, we're going to just add a little flavor to this one. And we are going to, yep. Oh, let's decorate this one. Why wouldn't we decorate it? I like decorating things. Let's decorate it while we're at it. Because I have a feeling it's not going to take super long. No, white is such a thing. Let's make it gray. And let's make our text color white. Let's make this one black. And let's make our text color white. What do you think? Yeah, I like it. It's fun. And then you, of course, you can dress it up however the heck you want to dress it up. Okay, I really like this. Let's just reconfirm a few things. We are working only out of the sheet. And then we're just going to reconfirm. We're going to reconfirm this. No. And do you see how it still did B1 and C1 and E1? What we need to be very careful about is because it's going to look for that in general. I don't want it to look for that. I want it to look for the boxes. We are working only out of the sheet chat. There is a BYO key in this sheet. Find that name box. Let me just make sure I got the proper name box. And again, we want to make sure it's not going to work if it's incorrect, you guys. There's a BYO key in the sheet. Find that name box. BYO key. There is a box for reply. There is a box for input. There is a box. What happened? Oh, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm in a chat box for one, which is run. Every sheet will be different. Please just look for these name boxes. And we do want to use the BYO key feature, which I mentioned above. Does this work for you and make sense? Am I missing anything before we start to code a bit? So, I know we've been at it. I'm kind of hidden, doing all this stuff. We are good. My screen is recording and I'm doing all this. And so, yep, visible to end user. Yep, input. Yep, reply. Yep, everything. Yes, you can protect it, but keep it editable. To me, again, I'm going to delete the key that we're going through in this example. The purpose of this is for you to use. So I've just been cleaning up while I've been going. And people are like, wow, you're kind of thinking through this. I want you to think like this. So ChatGPT is AI is a version of your mind and your limit. It's nothing else. People are like, no, you can't do that because it doesn't think the way that we have process 1 through 2. Well, there are only 2 processes, right? Now that means there might be multiple steps under each process, right? If you're thoughtful and you're a thinker and you have all of these wonderful questions, like, look, it's present for you. It's there. It's a gift. This is a gift. So we just did all of that. And so now it's telling us here, if we're looking at the screen, key source grabs the value of the key and runs chat fire, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of reading it. I'm exhausted from reading it. Have you ever got like a toy for Christmas for your kid and somebody puts some instructions down and you're like, I don't want to go through that. And then you do all of that and then you miss like a bolt or a nut or a screw. Just so frustrated. Or it doesn't tell you that you need a screwdriver and you don't have that screwdriver. Or you need some random C1 size battery, the little circle things. Like, forget about it. I get annoyed by these little things, but they are super relevant. For the sake of this, it's been up long enough that you should have read it. I'm going to skip it. It's saying, there's some guardrails and all of that. No, the guardrail is going to be me weekly checking on API keys that I give you if you want it. If you don't use your own and you don't have it, because if you have your own API key, then you don't need this. But if you don't have your own API key and you want to do this, let me know. Go through, build this out, and you can always DM me. It's instrumental because it'll be able to help you with like the things that you need to help your business. And remember, it's sheet. So and the prompting sometimes can be long. So just maybe have a Word document open or something of the sort. But we're gonna run some tests. We're gonna work through this. Cool. We are ready to go. What is next up for this? I'm gonna drink some water too. And I had a piece of chocolate. Today was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Oh, so what does it say? What do we got here? Uh-oh. Or Blizzard. What does it say? There's a single app script you can drop straight into extensions. It follows every rule we just agreed upon. So basically, you're telling me that all I need to do is copy this and paste it in. Oh, okay. Is that it? I mean, it really is it. So it should, we got all of our things. Paste the script into app scripts and boom. Okay, so we got a sheet. So the next thing we're going to go to extensions, y'all. We're going to go to app scripts. You can give it a name. I mean, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this demo creating GPT, and I'm going to rename it. I'm not getting super complicated here, so I'm just going to delete all of that. So when you open it up, delete everything that is there. Don't forget that. And then I'm just going to hit paste. Now this, and you're like, well, what the hell are you going to do now? Well, actually, you can see John Williams that it all started with idea.com. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit this save project button. All right, I'm going to follow the instructions. And after I hit save, I'm going to hit run. Okay. Google should ask me to authorize this stuff. So we've come a long ways. I'm going to hit review permission. I'm going to say yippity, yep. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to select all. Feel free to read all of the stuff if you want to read it. I'm not going to do that. I trust the platforms that I use. It looks like it started and it completed it. So that's it. Hand the template to anyone. They drop in their IO key, type a prompt and input. So now you're like, well, how the heck do I generate a key? And are you saying, whoa, check it out. Looks a little different. Yes, it does. Look at that. Look at that. We got words in here, y'all. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did not do it. We did it together. We did it together. We just made GPT. We made our own version of it. We didn't need a web browser. We didn't need all that. Now, if I was a betting man and I wanted to create my own agent and I have my own agency and I wanted to get all the businesses in the world something like this, guess what I could do? I could go to WordPress.com, or I could go to GoDaddy or HostGator, and I could create a page. I can go to Wix, and I can say, can I drop in a form? And you could drop in a form, and guess what you just did? You made a browser with GPT. I got to tell you what drove this idea, besides Ian saying something to me, was that I'm working with Hootsuite Enterprise. So it's going to cost me like, I don't know, like $15 freaking $1,000 a month. I'm not paying for it. I can figure out like why it would cost me $15,000 a month. That's why you have procurement, right? Like, John, you got procurement? Yeah, I have procurement because I support a multi-billion-dollar business. My job is to like find things and do things that other people won't do. I do that for a lot of businesses in general. I consult and I support, and I love what I do full-time, part-time, all the time, all hours of the day. But for all of you out there that want to give this to people, what we did was we just created a website. It's an open public thing that you can use, but you're going to need a key. So what we're going to do is we need to learn how to create this key. And so rather than just speaking it, let's type it in. So how do I create this BYO key? Also, you could do this in the Slack. So you could create a Slack channel that is GPT built into your Slack channel for your clients. So every client could have their own version of GPT that's built into your business. And then you could give it personality and all those things. I'm just spinning my wheels right now on all the wonderful things that you could do with this. It's pretty freaking cool. It's asking me for money, and I'm not asking y'all for money. We're doing this one because it's for the industry. All those gates that are out there, um, every time somebody, I've made up my mind in the last 30 seconds. Anytime somebody publishes something and they're going to offer a master class or they're going to offer you a script or a platform or a service and it costs you money, and all you're trying to do is serve a business and become better educated, I just want to let you know, hey, DM me and we'll figure it out together. I'm always willing to like shut the stuff down so that you get a very basic stripped down version, or you get this really imaginative creative version. And yeah, I'll do it for FREE. I'll do it for free. And yes, I'm being snarky again, but I love you. And all of what we do is bigger than that. And yeah, I do and I'm grateful for money. And yes, I am grateful for all that I have in life. And I'm grateful for it. But so many people have used me and taken from me to build up their own businesses. And in the blink of an eye said like deuce. And they're still making money and they're still doing good. And they're making like 3 times more than I've ever made. And they can't do half of what I've been able to do for them. Yes, that is a little bit of frustration in that sense. But it's heartbreaking because I really truly care and have always cared about what I do and how I do it to make our lives better as advertisers. I love this game. I love it. I love everything about it. And we need more positivity. We need more people thinking. We need more people supporting these businesses and making it easier because they can feed their families. And then in turn, maybe we can feed our own family, right? Or maybe we can give back. So this is an ode to that. So it looks like right here it says create a login. We got all that. Let's generate a secret key. Let's store it. Let's paste this key into the sheet. So we did all this earlier. This is really easy. We're going to come in here, create a secret key. We're going to name this Ego. We're going to create a secret key. We're going to hit copy. We're going to hit done. We're going to type that little thing in here. Looks like it is like a whole nother color. That doesn't work. So that like letter font thing isn't going to work on that color. But we're going to paste that little baby in there. It's in there. We're going to say, hey, dudette. I'm kidding. How are you today? I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to hit run. Like, what happened? I hit run and it didn't work. What happened? See, that's what all this is about. Yep, that is what all this is about. So we're gonna come back in here and we're gonna say, hey, hi. We pasted the key in the BYO key box typos, and I hit the run box cell and nothing happened. Can you make sure my run thing box is an actual button now? Do you need the script? And please don't change anything, only improve it. Super important. You see this last line? Don't delete any functionality, please. Only improve. what this is right here, this is to close this out, very purposeful. So you're not circular. If you don't put this in there, then it will restart your whole entire process. And imagine being like 5,000 lines in the code or 10,000 lines in the code, and you're super junior. I mean, you're like green, like fresh out of elementary school green. If you have this in there, it will always save what you're doing. I mean, you're still going to run into bugs. You're still going to run into kinks. Another line is, please don't change anything. Please make sure all changes tie back to the original goal. Now, if you have like 10 files, you want to say, make sure all these changes are updated across all the files. And this is our goal. We just want to create a mirror. And what I'm going to do, just so it remembers everything, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to hit Control C, and I'm going to help it remember. Here is the original code. I'm not using cursor. I'm using GPT. Okay. I'm just help it out. Work with the tools. Think through this process, you guys. Don't just like expect it to get it. Help it out. Right? So now it's thinking through it. It's looking at it like, yeah, so here we go. Below are 2 non-destructive tweaks so your run box really behaves like a button. Here we go. Right? So I have that. I have all of that. Assign the script. Okay. So we're going to hit copy. This is option B. Nope. So what I want to do is please provide the fully updated single script that just turns the run box into a real run box and keeps everything else the same. Don't change anything else. Do you see how it tried to give me a portion of it, and then you're like, well, that didn't work. This is great. Like, this is great. Here we go. Do you see now? I'm with one small addition. Helper fires runChat whenever somebody checks or edits the cell name run. That's it. Now let's see. And I don't think it's going to do what we needed to do, right? Copy. It says it's a checkbox, and I don't think that's what I want it to be. I just want it to be a button. And again, this is like teaching it how to do it, and I know how to create a button. So for all y'all are just saying like create a button, like look, I know how to create a button. It's not the point of this. Done. Save. Hit run. Just make sure all of this stuff is good. I'm gonna come back in here. Ooh, look what we got. Hey, I'm a bunch of code. Yes, you are a bunch of code. Yes, you are a bunch of code. It is good. I'm in Arizona and it is hot outside. Pool is code. Cold, not code. I said code. So now this is the catch. See, it still didn't do it. Okay. So I'm double clicking on the name box and it didn't work. So I'm going to tell it that. I'm clicking on the name box run and it's not processing. I don't want I can ask questions. Responses. Do you see typos, the whole thing? And then please don't change anything or any functionality. Please just update the code to reflect. Can you help me? Do you see how messy that is? But it gets it. That's it. Like be you. Be you. And it's super messy, but be you. Okay? That's it. Only fires when the box is checked true. It's unchecked. It's not unchecked. There's no check. I want you to say there is no checkbox because it keeps saying there's a checkbox. There is no checkbox. I just to be clear, do you see us going back and forth? There is no checkbox. And this is using GPT. You can use Claude, probably clean this up a little quicker. No checkbox, only text. In the box. Let's be clear what it is. So just name it. Let's go named ranges. So again, I know you guys are like, why didn't you just do this in the first place? This wasn't the whole point, but now we're getting into some weeds. This is again us experimenting. And so this is supposed to be a button. This is supposed to be a button. Can you please fix the code and don't break or make any other updates or changes to functionality? So I'm just gonna give it this code again, so it has it. But we should get it. And as you can see, we just got a little bit more complicated. In this, I do know how to use sheets. Yeah, but again, for the purpose of this, not having not done this, I think this is a great example of like being a little frustrated with the tool and remembering it's only as good as you are in the questions that you're able to ask it or your understanding of it, right? And so we just want to add a helper. So now I think this is complete, you guys. This should be it. Leave the text as is, no checkbox needed. Type a prompt and input. Click once on the run box and your reply should appear. Fingers crossed that we got it. And let's continue to have a conversation. So if this works, love y'all. We're going to hit save. We're now at about 120 lines. I'm going to hit just run. It should execute because you got to save and then you got to run it here. So I'm going to come in here. Glad to hear you're doing well in Arizona. Let's position the text too for the sake of this conversation since we are there rather than bottom up. Let's position the text at the top. Let's make sure that it always wraps up. And then I'm going to say, no, my little and his buddies are, mom just got here and the kids are playing. I'm in here with you. So I'm going to come down here and still not doing it when I freaking hit the thing, which is annoying. I still didn't do it. I'm at 55 minutes, freaking frustrated. And it keeps doing that to me. I don't want it to keep coming in. So I know it works. So this is how I know it works. When I hit run, run, I'm I prompt input, click once on the run box and reply. I just clicked on the run box and nothing happened. Let me hit refresh on this thing. We're just going to reload it. We're going to just boom. Yep. So it looks like API error, permissions are not sufficient to call URL fetch. So looks like we got this. Yep. Okay. So it looks like we got that, and it looks like that is the error that we got. So we're going to open that back up. I mean, we're working through this together, y'all. This is the life of like being an Imagineer and thinking through something that, quite frankly, all of us could benefit from. I'm just gonna hit run again. We're gonna review permissions because it looks like some things have changed. Yep. All is good. All is gravy. We're gonna come back in here. We're gonna hit the good old refresher Rooney. Looks like, yep, I am. Okay, but okay. I will. Thanks for the conversation. I appreciate you. So, in theory, um, every time I got to do that. So then that means I have to come up here and I have to hit send. And so it's running the script. You're welcome. So the run box is not working. So it does look like what we're trying to accomplish is working. Okay. Can we do this? Again, I don't want all these places for all these different things. Doesn't make sense. I want it to think. Let's push the limits of this thing. Okay. So now we're going to come back in here. We're going to come into app scripts. So you're watching me open it up. We're going to hit Control A. We're going to hit Control C. Please update this script. Do you see how it remembers what to do and how to do it? So all their code is identical. Everything else is fine. I think it's done. It doesn't appear to be done yet, so it's not done. Reload the sheet, authorize the prompt, hit run in the merge cells, and the reply appears in the reply. But it keeps telling me this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the boom diggity. We're gonna hit say diggity. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna hit refresh diggity. Before I leave, do you need anything? Okay. So the run button isn't working. We gotta solve this one. I clicked this box and it did not work. I still had to go to chat and select and look at that. We even got a little beta test coming in for responses because it's got a sense of like, we've been doing this. It's not solving the issue. I don't really care about the response, to be truthful with you. Trying to trigger a network call from a simple on-select trigger is blocked by Google security rules, which is why it's not firing. So now clicking inside the run chat fires. Turn the run into a row button, no more code needed. Insert a button or drawing. Chat sheet, insert drawing, button in new UI, type run and save. Assign the script. Enter run chat and press OK. Position over instead of the old run cell block. So it's going to make me turn this into like an actual button. So I'm going to have to do that, you guys. Okay. So we're going to turn this into a button. We're going to turn it into an image, I believe, over cells. I believe it is. Insert drawing, insert button in new UI. Hold on. I'm going to shrink this. So I'm going to insert drawing or insert button, paste, save and close. Okay. So that is like a real button. So I'm just going to hit delete. No, Control Z. So I'm going to hit delete. So it is an image. So I'm going to shrink that down. Save and close. There we go. Well, this is for everybody. Type run and save. Click the drawing, right click, or click on the three dots. It says assign script, enter, run chat. Okay. So that's that. Now I'm going to copy this new code or script. Sorry. So I'm going to copy the new script, you guys. And we're going to go back to the app script. Okay. Could have saved some time, but I didn't. We're doing this. I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to hit refresh. Okay. Everyone's outside. I'm still doing this. And are you sure? You don't need anything. So in theory, what should happen based on this is I should hit this and it works. There you go. All right. So welcome to the masterclass. Welcome to, we just created a simple UI. Let's go ahead and work through this one more time. What we did was we created a ChatGPT and Google Sheets. You can do the same thing on a website, y'all. There's nothing else that you would need in order to make this happen besides an API key. I'm willing to give you an API key. What you'll need to do is make a copy of this document or create it from scratch yourself. If you want to create your own, the instructions are in this video on how to do that. I'm also going to provide a summary from this and an output on what we did today. I'm going to post this on LinkedIn. It's going to be on YouTube. And happy days. Yeah, you can turn this into a WordPress site. You can turn it into a Shopify site. You can add this feature and functionality to your business, and you can add it to Slack. You can add it to whatever you're using for chat, Messenger, whatever. Basically, we just built GPT. All right, that's it. That's simple. I'm going to leave with I love you. Thank you so much for all you have given me and shared. You rock more than the Ohio State Buckeyes. I hit enter, of course. One last tweak while we're at this. Let's just go ahead and text wrap that. And from a formatting perspective, come on. Let's get this at the top because we don't like the Buckeyes. We're just going to hit run one more time. Says thank you. That's really kind of you to say. I'm glad I could help and I appreciate the love. Ohio State fans definitely have a lot of pride. If you ever need anything else, enjoy your day. Go Blue. I love y'all. Go Cougs. Have the best day.